Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to Healing Outside the Box. Today is episode 176, and I'm calling it the 411 on nutrition for healthy skin. Now, there's no shortage of articles on how to achieve healthy glowing skin and hair in all of those grocery aisle magazines. The way I see those magazines is that it's a little like going to a psychic. In other words, they usually tell you what you want to hear, but there's generally no downside to that. Some of this stuff is common sense. So if you just spent $5 on one of those magazines, you may already know what they're about to tell you. For example, if you want to keep your skin moisturized, it would certainly help to take in nutrients that hold that moisture in. And yes, it's all about nourishing from the inside out, as if you didn't know that already. Now that doesn't mean it won't help to use those fragrance-free moisturizers and healthy oils on the scalp, etc., but you literally are what you eat, both inside and out. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go over the nutrients that are usually mentioned when talking about healthy skin and hair and what they can do for you. Then I'll mention the foods that have a decent amount of these nutrients. Number 1, vitamin A. You sorta kinda knew this? Vitamin A is a fat-soluble vitamin that is necessary for healthy-looking skin, and it helps prevent the rapid aging of the skin. The active form of vitamin A is often called the retinoids because it includes a group of similar substances that all work together to help the skin, the eyes, and the bones function normally. By the way, beta-carotene is the plant source of vitamin A. So it's basically the same thing. Beta-carotene is basically two vitamin A's linked together. When it comes to the amount of vitamin A that you need, it's not true that more and more is better and better. In fact, vitamin A toxicity is a real thing. And I actually saw a case of it when I worked at the hospital. This young lady had anorexia nervosa and was eating nothing but carrots. Her skin was literally tinted orange. Most people won't have a problem getting enough vitamin A, and real deficiencies are rare. The exception, as it is in many of these cases, may be if you have a disease or illness that interferes with absorption, something like Crohn's disease, ulcerative colitis, maybe even cystic fibrosis. In that case, I imagine you may be under a doctor's care, and your medical team can advise you as to what to do. The next nutrient is vitamin C. Like vitamin A, this is an antioxidant, so it helps to keep the cells from getting oxidized or zapped by UVA and UVB rays. And of course those would be from the sun, and also tanning beds. We need vitamin C to produce collagen, which helps make skin cells. And like vitamin A, vitamin C also scares away the free radicals. Now these free radicals are not necessarily hippies from the 60s, but more like pollution, damaging effects of the sun or tanning beds, and cigarette smoke. We're not telling you here that it's okay to smoke as long as you take vitamin C, but I imagine you knew that already. Number 3, biotin. Now biotin is part of the vitamin B complex that you hear in all those magazine ads that are touting how great it is for just about everything. But you may not necessarily need a biotin supplement if you're eating healthy food. But once again, I imagine you knew I was going to say that. If you have a deficiency in biotin, you'll get scaly skin or brittle nails or thinning hair. And who wants that? No siree. Some research on the subject suggests that biotin combined with zinc can reduce hair loss. However, once again, if you have enough, it is not necessarily going to give you brilliant, younger skin and thick hair overnight, whether you take large amounts or not. So if you're eating healthy, consider all that stuff in the magazine a sales pitch. Now, sources of biotin in foods are nuts, vegetables, and eggs, but we'll get to that. Oh, by the way, let me briefly go over the vitamin B complex. It's called a complex because these B vitamins are always found together in many similar foods. B1 or thiamine, B2 or riboflavin, B3, B5, pantothenic acid, B6, B9, and B12. These are all water-soluble vitamins, and they nourish the cells and keep them filled with fluid and puffy. Keeping a regular stock of these B vitamins will also help overcome brittle nails and encourage healthy hair growth. And like I said, it improves skin elasticity because it makes the skin cells puffy. Now, I hope this doesn't happen to you, but one sign of a deficiency in one of these B-complex vitamins is spoon-shaped nails. For example, instead of having your nail curving out like normal fingernails do, the spoon-shaped nails curve under like a spoon. If you see that in any of your fingernails, I would recommend that you see your physician right away. This won't happen to many of us that are eating a fairly decent diet. But as I said before, things like this can happen if you happen to suffer from Crohn's disease or ulcerative colitis or maybe eating disorders. If you have any questions about this, you should certainly seek medical advice. Now, number 4, zinc. Zinc is an everyday mineral known primarily for its wound healing, so it's also effective in healing skin lesions. By the way, you may have noticed in the medical biz, skin lesions can be a general term. For example, even precancerous spots on the face can be considered skin lesions. So you can see where zinc might be added to any recommendation that includes other antioxidants to prevent skin cancer. And a healthy dose of antioxidants are always on the recommended list if you'd like to prevent skin cancer. Zinc also functions in cell metabolism. And this is important because skin cells are sensitive. They're very delicate, sensitive things. And skin cells are replenished about every 2 weeks. You may have seen promotions for zinc saying that zinc will give you thick, luxurious hair. And it may not do that, but it's a good idea to have adequate zinc levels so that your hair will remain healthy. And once again, I'm getting ahead of myself, but there's zinc in spinach, green leafy vegetables, no surprise, mushrooms, beans, and nuts. Okay, the next nutrient, or nutrients, are omega-3 fatty acids. These omega-3 fatty acids are in the cell membrane of hair and skin cells. The membrane is that outer protective layer, and this layer is important to keep the bad guys out of your cells and let the good guys in. The word for that is semi-permeable, which also means it might be sensitive to damage. Omega-3 fatty acids also help to keep your skin and hair well hydrated, so the fatty acids are within the cell as well as around the border. Okay, so where do you find these nutrients for your skin and hair? Let's start with vitamin A and C, because these vitamins are often found together. And if you first think of fruits, you would be correct. In other words, berries, berries, and more berries. Blueberries, blackberries, strawberries. Pineapple is also good. By the way, tomatoes are in this category as well. They're technically a fruit, and of course they're very bright red. The red, orange, yellow categories will give you your vitamin A and C. It goes without saying that you may want to get organic tomatoes in season, or perhaps a good organic canned tomato, maybe a San Marzano imported from Italy. Italian San Marzano tomatoes are bright red and almost always organic. Many European countries have now gone non-GMO, and I'm pretty sure that Italy is one of them. So other good sources of vitamin A and C are red peppers and carrots. Red peppers more than green peppers. Again, red, orange, yellow for vitamin A and C. So why all this talk about these two vitamins? Okay, so these two vitamins attack the free radicals. How do they do that? Okay, say you're outside in the sun, you're soaking in the rays, and that would be UVA and UVB. And then the light hits your skin and free radicals are created. These free radical compounds can penetrate into your skin and create DNA damage. This DNA damage will age your skin and increase your risk of basically 3 types of skin cancers. The 3 types of skin cancer are basal cell carcinoma, which is pretty benign, squamous cell carcinoma, which is considered benign but can grow fairly deep, and melanoma, which is the most serious type of skin cancer. Vitamin A and C, the antioxidants, basically attach themselves to these free radical compounds and neutralize them. A recent study presented at the Royal Society of Medicine in London found that women who were given 5 tablespoons of standard tomato paste with 10 grams of olive oil every day for 12 weeks showed significant improvement in the skin's ability to protect itself against UV damage. And that's not much. Now, in terms of vegetable sources for the A and C, we've got spinach, collard greens, and other leafy greens. These green leafy vegetables are rich in beta-carotene, the precursor of vitamin A, but again, it really makes no difference. Your body makes the vitamin A from beta-carotene. In addition to being an antioxidant, vitamin A, as we've mentioned before, helps the skin retain moisture and remain puffy. Oh, I forgot to mention that vitamin E is also an antioxidant and good for healing the skin. Vitamin E, like vitamin A, is a fat-soluble vitamin, and it's concentrated in nuts and seeds. In addition, your fatty fish oils and coconut oil have a decent amount of vitamin E. While I'm on the subject of fatty fish, scientists generally recommend smaller cold water fish for both the omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E. The big fish like tuna and swordfish are generally not recommended in unlimited quantities because of their mercury content. But yes, they are good sources of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E. If you're not a fan of mackerel or sardines, oysters contain a decent amount of these nutrients and therefore good for the skin. Therefore, similar shellfish will work as well. The fattier nuts like walnuts and pecans are also good sources of omega-3 fatty acids and vitamin E. If you're a vegetarian, you can get your protein and omega-3 fatty acid intake needs with the nuts and seeds. And all of these are really good for your skin and hair. Also, if you happen to be a vegetarian, you're probably eating your fair share of dark leafy vegetables. But you could also consider adding oats. I'm really a fan of oats, quinoa, lentils, split peas, beans in general, and pumpkin seeds. Pumpkin seeds are also a great snack if you're looking to keep your skin healthy and stay away from those empty calories. Pumpkin seeds are good sources of zinc, as well as vitamins A, K, omega-3 fatty acids, and of course all of these are essential for both skin and building a healthy hair shaft. These pumpkin seeds are also rich in vitamin C, and that's important for producing your skin's natural oil and repairing your skin. Now let's talk about eggs. Eggs are good sources of vitamin E, omega-3 fatty acids, zinc, and all of the B-complex vitamins. And this is because eggs are basically unborn chickens, and whatever nutrients chickens need are in there. So you're probably getting the idea that if you want to keep your skin looking young and healthy, eat fresh and healthy. Also, I'm no expert on this, but I imagine a lot of stress over a long period of time will take its toll on your skin. Ditto for fad diets that result in rapid weight loss and exclude major food groups. Smoking and drinking are almost too obvious to bother mentioning, but I just did anyway. And one last thing. Don't fall prey to the supermarket aisle magazines that tell you things like 10 days to beautiful skin or the wrinkle-free forever diet. Basically, if you try to eat as healthy as you can, drink plenty of fluids, and find a stress reduction technique, your skin and hair will thank you. Now that's all I have for you today. Be well, and stay tuned next week for another episode of Healing Outside the Box.